Hey guys, and welcome back to the Hobby Dude 007 channel and another installment of Now That's Cool. Today I want to share with you some of the builds and creations of a friend of mine that I've known longer than any other content creator. His name is Ron, and he's at SoMo Diecast. And don't let the name Diecast fool you, because he is far more than that. He does do some plastic models as well, but his passion is 1/64th scale restorations. Let's just say that Ron has a blast with everything 1/64th scale. Hot Wheels, Matchbox, Tootsie Toys, you name it, Ron does it. Let's go over and take a look at his work. Ron and I first met at Hillcrest High School in Springfield, Missouri, and became friends. Like most teenage boys, we were both car guys, and what we didn't know at that time was we were both model builders as well. Something else we have in common even to this day, though, is that we are forever Hornets. After high school and college, of course, everyone goes out on their own into the world, and you kind of lose touch with each other. And of course, I'm 800 miles now away from Springfield, but I still consider it one of my homes that I have great memories of. Well, Ron, about a year before I started my channel, started SoMo Diecast. And that was re-embracing, of course, his collections. Like many of us, in addition to model cars, I also have a collection of Hot Wheels, Johnny Lightning, a number of 64th scale cars that are just, let's face it, they're cool. Well, Ron got into that big time and started SoMo Diecast. And incidentally, Ron is one of those people, along with a little push from my buddy Clay Kemp and Lucas C., just downright shoved me over the cliff about starting a channel, so you can blame those three for me. But SoMo Diecast is something Ron has a passion about and is very, very, very good at. And you know, even in model building, I've learned a few things from him. One of the things was convertible tops. But Ron's done great with SoMo Diecast. As you see here, he's got this little gasser, which I blew it up, and I think I've got it a little too fuzzy. But this is a SoMo Diecast altered wheelbase gasser, and I think it's just cool. And check out the signature NAS truck. SoMo Diecast sponsor there as well. And you know what? Having a channel vehicle was one of the things that caused me to do my Hobby Dude 007 40 Ford sedan delivery with a workbench in the back. Well, as I mentioned, Ron also does plastic models from time to time. This Chevelle was a gift from the family. I want to say it was a Christmas present. It might have been Father's Day. But Ron has also built, here's one of the Shizoom, the 57 Chevy Custom. And as you see, this thing is decked out. I love the white interior, the engine bay, all of this stuff just really looks cool. But I think one of my favorite in 25th scale that he's done is the AMT Custom Shop 32 Ford Phantom. This thing is just really cool. As you see here, the chassis work. And if you're not familiar with this kit, it's actually a pretty cool kit. The yellow, that was okay for a hot rod, but Ron put his twist on it with the cream white interior, and it just, I mean, check that out. It's really cool. I could see me driving around one of these things. And of course, there's that white top, and it's just a beautiful car, beautiful build. The other thing that Ron has gotten into over the last few years is, I think ahead of a lot of other people, was 3D printing. He also prints his own decals and stuff when he does his restorations, and we'll touch on that here in a minute. But one of the first 3D prints that he did was this camper for the Hot Wheels VW truck. And I purchased one of these from him as well. and the kit comes with the truck and the camper. And this is actually sitting on my credenza because this is something as a slump buster I'm really wanting to do. So when I fall into that, this one's going to get built. I've already got a two-tone paint scheme in mind for it, but that's just cool. That's just cool. And that's all his design work 3D wise, and he does a lot of 3D stuff now. Tires and wheels for Hot Wheels that are just, well, for 64th scale, that are awesome. One of the things Ron does on Mondays is called Random Restoration Monday. And a restoration, of course, he'll take like this, and this is just a play-worn, pretty beat-up die-cast 64th scale truck. And of course, he, as he calls it, blows them apart. You see the windshield about falling out of it, and he'll clean everything up, strip it down right down to the metal, and then repaint them, and there you go. You've got a brand new restoration. One of the other ones I really like were, and these came in two different versions, is this wrecker. And you see here that it's play worn as well. You see the paint's all beat up, dinged up, and there's a part or two missing off of it. And these things, by the way, were actually manufactured, if I understand correctly, with the yellow up front and the green in the back, and there was also a version with the green up front and the yellow in the back. And you will find on his channel, he has over 600 videos, and each video is from start to finish. It's kind of like Chris over at HPI Guy. He starts it, shows you what he's working with, and all the way through the video is a complete restoration. And of course, here again is the restored, and you see the replaced brand new hook. And you'll also find he will do both versions of these from time to time. But that's Random Restoration Mondays, and it is some cool stuff. But throughout the week, there's a lot of cool stuff too. One of my favorites, as well as Hippie Dudes, is there was a group build that had psychedelic vehicles or hippie vehicles, 60s type stuff, and Ron did this VW bus, and check the interior out in that thing. That's just one of my favorites. It just fits. Like I said, Hippie Dude loves it. Another thing you will find is I mentioned that he does his own decals as well. The Indy Pace cars, and he 3D printed his wheels here, and he did a moderned up version of it as well. Oftentimes too, you'll find in junk shops, old play worn beat up stuff, you'll find things like this Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Well, this one was in pretty rough shape. You notice the windshield frame is not there, and it's just it's a mess. But the wings fold in, and it fold up. It just kind of a cool historic toy. And he looked around until he got all the replacement parts for it, and by the way, including the figures. Isn't that cool? So you have a full restored Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Also, while you're over there, check out the other TV and movie cars. Not too far back, he did a early Firebird in the Smokey and the Bandit paint scheme, the gold, printed the I call them honeycomb or spiderweb type wheels. I mean, modernized that thing up. Really cool. All of the Dukes of Hazzard vehicles, Batmobiles, just a lot of cool TV and movie stuff too. But some of the creativity Ron does is something I've always thought about doing, but I'm not really that good at it, is making convertibles. Well, you see, this GTO is an absolute mess. Part of the A-pillar over on the other side is missing. It's in pretty rough shape, as you can see. But thank goodness, between Revell Chrome, Molotow, there's a lot of stuff you can repair. But what Ron did with this one is he took and cut the top completely off, made a convertible boot for the rear, 3D printed new tires and wheels, And just after cutting down the window to just the windshield and side vent windows, just using that as a frame made the windshield, and you have a GTO convertible out of something that was many people would probably just have thrown away. But Ron's got a great mind for this stuff, great engineering mind there, and I love the color on these things too. And the white interior, if you've seen any of my Mopars from that era, you notice about all of them have white interior. Another thing Ron does is he's not prejudiced toward it. Well, that one's too far gone, and just kind of throw it away. This thing, as you see, has no motor, has no grill, has no tires. It's just what's left of a pretty well played with car. Well, this one got a chop top. Ron, I think he printed this engine. It may have been out of his parts box, but I think this was a printed engine. And check out the wheels and tires as well. And once again, that beautiful white interior, the white accents. And just a great looking roadster. Love these things. And fuel injected engine, I really like those. And Ron will even take a beautiful exotic, as you see here, that's pretty play worn, and make it a little wild. A lot of 3D goodies in here, and as you can see on the back here, you've got the spare tires. But check out, when those aren't in there, all the work that went down into the bars and the tire holder there. Just cool. And oftentimes, Ron will take a newer one right out of the pack, and he will do some crazy things with it, like this 40 Ford Woody. Now, out of the box, it doesn't look too bad, but check this out. Is that not cool? And I love the wood grain on these things to begin with, but look how much more realistic than the box it is. And again, some new updated 3D printed wheels and tires, and alongside another 40 sedan. This one I picked up not that long ago, with in mind doing a red and white version of it, and Ron beat me to the punch with this one too. Check that purple out, beautiful purple metallic. Once again, the white interior, the white accents. I think that just looks so cool. But there's a little twist to this one too. Check this out. You've got a trailer with a vintage sprint car on it, but not just one sprint car. Check that out. Just cool stuff. And you know what, guys? These things really do make a really cool display. Now this Buick, kind of chop top, and it's okay, but if you wanted to really dress something up, this is one that Ron did the same thing. He made a convertible. And check out that beautiful paint. And of course, again, he did his own graphics. So you see the striping, that beautiful white interior. Look at that dash. And is that not an aggressive looking, mean looking grill coming at you? Ron's got a really great and creative mind here too. This next one is a Johnny Lightning Flameout, and this is the way he got it, or had it, I think. And the engines were missing, and it's an old C cab, and you see it's in pretty rough shape. But this is one that Ron does this often with as well, and that is he will take and cut it all to pieces and make something different out of it. Now this one, he did not use the bottom or the wheels. He 3D printed an entire chassis with the radiator, headlights, all of that stuff. Shorter chassis, cut the front off and just used the C-cab from the Flameout and printed up some new tires and wheels, which are perfect for this thing. The engine is out of his parts box, but the blower was something he 3D printed. And it's just, that turned out really, really cool. And Ron is very helpful to me, and not just in plastics, but when it comes to 3D goodies too, or excuse me, 64th scale goodies. He knows my passion for Richard Petty things, and he built this in 1/64th scale. One of my two all-time favorite Richard Petty cars, the 1971 Plymouth. Printed his own decals, and this came in the mail one day in the little case, and it is proudly displayed on my desk all the time. And thank you again, Ron. That meant a lot. And when I was doing Amanda's 1969 Plymouth Barracuda, that was her high school and college car, I contacted Ron and asked, "Hey man, did they make a 69 Barracuda coupe?" And he said, yeah, they did. I think it was Hot Wheels. And the next thing I know, about a week or so later, this is in the mail. And following his videos, I blew it apart using his method of stripping the die-cast down, right down to the bottom, using Ozark pond water. Got that stripped right down to the metal, and you see where I've got it marked. Some stuff I want to sand off and grind off a little bit, and here's the finish. And by the way, when you grind off or drill out the rivets that hold the chassis on Hot Wheels or stuff like that, it's an easy fix, and I wasn't sure how to do it, and Ron was a big help there. A 256 tap, 256 screw, boom, you got it all back together, and it is great. And of course, that was going to be for my desk, and the 25th scale was going to be for Amanda's desk. Well, they're now both displayed in a case in the den on above the fireplace, so they have a place of honor. But that was a big thanks to Ron, and I've learned a lot about restorations and working with 64th scale stuff. So it's really good. Don't ever be intimidated by these things, because it's really cool stuff. Well, guys, that's cool for this go round, and it to me really is. Ron is right at 2,000 subscribers. If you're not subscribed, you want to see some really cool stuff. Like I said, he's got over 600 videos that are start to finish, full restorations. Head over, check him out. You won't be disappointed. It is some awesome stuff. And while you're over there, give him a few thumbs up in on those videos and give him a sub. Guys, God bless. I will see you in the next video. And Ron, thank you again, brother.